Hello students, let us continue the chapter. We'll see today the scale of map. Students, I must tell you all that the scale of a map denotes the proportion that the distance between any 2 points on a map bears to the distance between the same 2 points on the surface of the earth. The scale is also defined as the ratio between the distance of any 2 points on the map and the actual distance of the same points on the ground. That is, we can say that scale equal to map distance between 2 points by ground distance between the same points. If we talk about representation of the scale, so I must tell you all that there are three methods of representing the scale on the map. So the very first one is the statement of scale. In this method, scale is stated in words or we make a statement about it. Example, if I say 1 centimeter equal to 5 kilometer. So what is it? It is the statement. The value on the left hand side usually represent the map distance. This method is not suitable as we require to know the units of measurement in different countries. Moreover, when the map is reduced or enlarged from the original, the scale does not remain the same. This creates problems in measurement. Now the second one, it is the linear scale. In this method, the scale is represented by a straight line divided into equal parts, namely primary and secondary, to show what these markings represent on the actual ground. The primary division The primary divisions are the major divisions on the scale, graduated from left to the right. The secondary divisions are smaller units, graduated from right to left on one primary division. The total length of this linear scale represents a distance of 25 km each. Each primary division denotes a distance of 5 kilometers. Each secondary division denotes a distance of 1 kilometer on the actual ground. Now students will refer to the third scale, that is the representative fraction. In this method, the scale is represented on the ratio of the length of a line on the map and the corresponding actual distance on the Earth's surface. The numerator is always expressed as unity, that is, 1 unit map distance is equivalent to a number of units of ground distance. This fraction is called representative fraction. Or in other way, we can say that representative fraction or RF is equal to distance on the map by the distance on the ground in the same unit. Students, further you might have seen in your book that there are few conversions, that is conversion of scale from statement to representative fraction and from representative fraction to statement and so on. So students, I must tell you that you all go through these exercises, these examples, as well as you must practice the questions given out in the exercise. Students, the next point is distance measurement. So measurement of direct distance. First of all, we have to see the steps for it. First of all, mark 2 points on the map between which the distance is to be measured. You can also put the mark as A and B. Second, measure the distance with the help of a divider or a piece of paper between the given points on the map. Thirdly, now place the divider or strip of paper on the linear scale drawn on the map. This will directly give the distance on the map between the 2 points. Next, measurement of indirect distances. For this also, we have to go under 3 steps. So step 1, take a piece of thread and mark the point with a pen which shows the starting point. Secondly, spread the thread along the line, following each curve till the last point. And lastly, now stretch the thread along the scale to give the length. So students, this way we can easily determine the measurement. You can say distance measurement, maybe the direct distance or indirect distance. Basically in indirect distance, we can say that one can also find out the distance of you can say 2 points shown by curve. Students, direction is also a very crucial aspect. So we need not to confuse regarding the directions, and we must be acquainted with the facts very well. So if you have got forgot or getting a bit confused, I'm telling you the right way. So always remember that whenever you are to represent north always points toward the what? This upside. You take a map and the top of the map that will represent north, bottom will represent south, right will represent east, and left west. So top is north, bottom is south, right is east, and left is west. So students, these directions are called the main directions or the cardinal directions. But at the same time, you ought to remember that between these two between the directions, the main directions, there also exist intermediate directions or sub directions. For example, if I say northeast, it exists between north and east, northeast. Similarly, between north and west, northwest. Similarly, south and west, southwest, south and east, southeast. So these are intermediate directions. Northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest. These are intermediate directions or sub directions. The sum of these two directions, that is main or cardinal directions, and the intermediate or sub directions, form compass rose. Next is bearing. What is bearing? Bearing is of an object is the clockwise angle measured from the north-south line to a line connecting the observer position. Here O is the observer position with the object. Here you can say P and Q are the objects. So in a nutshell, one can say that bearing is the clockwise measurement of the angle formed between the north line and the line joining the two given points, that is object and the observer. Students, always remember that it is a clockwise measurement. You can say clockwise angle. So for instance, let us see this one. This is the north south line, and the point here it is observer, and here it is the object. So it is the clockwise angle measured from the north south line. From here will start, and what angle does it form? 60 degree. Now students, for the calculation of bearing, you have to remember just merely 4 lines. For example, the conversion of magnetic bearing to the true bearing is simple matter. For example, for this you have to remember only two lines. If variation is worst, magnetic is best. Therefore, subtract the amount of variation because bearing cannot be more than what